o'clock. This is the Gilliam County Court's regular meeting, July 16th, and we're in Arlington today. Meeting's called to order. Are we set?
Yeah.
Okay. Quorum has been established, and we will now have the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. Are there any additional revisions to the agenda?
I don't have any.
Okay. We now have correspondence, public comment. Let's go ahead and begin with those who are present. Individuals wishing to address the county court may do so at this time and at other times throughout the meeting. Speakers are asked to raise their hand and be recognized by the chair. Give name and city and limit their comments to 3 minutes. And I do have two people. Let's begin with Jed Crowther, Port of Arlington, and then we'll go to Michael Heinstein.
Mine is brief, just to keep you informed. The Port of Arlington Environmental Sentry Corps is taking on the former Condon grade school project. We have an EPA grant to do that. We have RFPs. The deadline has passed and we received 3 submittals that are under review. And we expect to be awarding a contract for that work. That will involve a fair amount of community outreach. So as they proceed with, before they proceed with remediation of the environmental hazards, they will have some community outreach meetings as well. But we'll let you know as those come up. This syncs with a county grant award from a while back where we've tried to reserve the county fund for redevelopment and use the EPA award for the environmental cleanup portion. So that's how those mesh together.
Was it that like, you're getting like almost 800,000 or
780,000.
Okay, for the abatement.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think in this, right, it has to be abated, whether it's torn down or repurposed, either one. Is that my
Yes, that's correct. And there will be some decision points along there of whether how much you can salvage and reuse, or
the
whether
structure.
some of it might need to be demolished. So
Okay.
The whole structure there or part of it or.
yeah, there've been quite a bit of studies, quite a few studies that evaluated the reuse capability and structural integrity of being able to do that. So we'll see.
Is there a timeline?
We anticipate the cleanup can happen late this fall
Okay.
or maybe into next spring.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of the timeline we've seen on some of those submittals.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
yep, thanks.
Okay, Michael Heinstein. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good morning, thank you, Mike Heinstein, WM, the facility engineer out at Columbia Ridge. As required by our conditional use permit, we are required to submit a summary of construction during 2025 and some figures to the planning department. And I'll run through the construction for this year. For the renewable natural gas plant is essentially about 95% complete. The south building plant is scheduled to be commissioned the 1st of September. And the second or north building will be 1st of October with the fully functional operating facility in the first quarter of 2026. Flare number 7, it's a 4,000 SCFM flare, was completely installed in December of 2024 with testing completed in March and May of this year. It is online, so we now have the capacity to handle all the gas that the landfill is generating should the gas energy plant go down or the renewable natural gas plant go down. Landfill gas expansion for this year, we completed the first phase in March by drilling 5 new collection wells. And we have just recently installed 102 automatic wellheads. It's a system that will automatically tune the wells. We're trying to capture more gas for our RNG plant. The second phase, which includes drilling 37 additional wells in and around the landfill, is scheduled to start Monday. And the current gas flows at the facility is between 9,000 and 9,500 CFM. With the new RNG plant and the addition of pumps in some of the gas wells, we're generating a little more liquid. So we've designed or have designed a new pond, a leachate pond, 7.2 acres in size, and it looks like it will be built next year. It's going to have a capacity of 35 million gallons. We don't know for sure what we're going to get out of the RNG plant when they cool the gas. So, module 17A, 31 acres. By the end of this year, we'll have moved 2.5 million cubic yards of soil, with the other 2.5 million slated to be moved the first half of next year, and lining of the cell the second half of next year, and hoping to have first waste placement in there in January of 2027. We have been working on, and we are currently bidding out a new tire and thaw bay building for the one that burned down in 2020. It's located essentially in the same location, with some updates to how the drainage is handled, and we are also covering over the wheel wash area, so with the roof. And that's summary of what we're gonna do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Paul, since we're on waste management, I guess we can have her come up. And then we'll go back to the correspondence.
Hey,
Morning.
so some updates, year-to-date numbers for, all those in waste management, district manager, waste management. We have some updates for so far this year for 2025 year-to-date numbers. Volumes so far, 1.243 million tons. Year-to-date, second quarter was 659,197 tons. Host fees paid to Gilliam counties, so far, in year-to-date for 2025 is 2.5 million. Road fees paid year-to-date, 2025, 124,340. On the 15th of May, we hosted the Metro Central Joint Site Meeting. They meet all together quarterly in person, and in May they came out to the site and met at the site, had their meeting, and then we gave them a tour. So far this year, we've had 6 OSHA recordables, and our summer safety program is in full swing, with certain things like barbecues and just people taking selfies of what they did over the 4th of July. Just the big focus is on safety at work and safety at home. So we're making sure that people are thinking about safety, not just at work, but if they're climbing a ladder at home, or they're barbecuing, or they're doing something there, they're doing things safe there as well. The safety committee made a stretching to the oldies video as part of the challenge on one of the safety challenges that we're doing through the company. So that was good. So and then of course Mike updated you on the RNG plant, and then the landfill gas project that's all going to be starting next week again for that phase 2, and cell 17 construction is in progress. Couple numbers for chem waste, 42,716 tons so far this year. They are down just a little bit, and then their host fees so far is $50,106. So we do have some positions open as far as managers, drivers. Chem waste also has some positions open as well. And then, as far as employee engagement, the recent golf tournament that was held to support the Iowa and Arlington sports teams, we made a donation for the silent auction. And, we also sponsored a golf team. So, doing that, do you have any questions?
Is there anything, thoughts on the amount of garbage that's going into the dumpsters on the weekends?
Yes, that one is a constant maintenance. We don't typically dump them on the weekend because there's not anybody there. We dump them Friday and then we dump them first thing Monday.
Okay.
And then we dump them usually Wednesday-ish. So it's about 3 days a week to try to keep up with them. This like Monday morning, they were great, but the week before, there's so much we can't even close the lids. It's hard to,
That's
it's hard to
probably seasonal,
predict.
too.
Yes, yeah.
In the summer, people are doing more outside.
Yeah, it's hard to predict. So we dump them, like I said, Friday. We make sure they're empty and then,
Yeah,
So,
okay,
yeah, it's a tough one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
And
just also, I know a couple times I've been out there, I get frustrated. And I'm sure it's the people that are unloading the messes. It's just.
yeah,
Mhm.
we have an inspector who inspects it daily and brings me an inspection sheet every day and tells me what needs to be cleaned up. And then, or if there's something there that needs to be removed or cleaned up, and then we send our special waste crew or container repair crew down to manage that
Mhm.
area.
Yeah, it's just frustrating because I feel that it's a very good thing to our county residents.
Mhm.
And to me, a couple of people are possibly gonna. I don't know, I'm just frustrated that they can't
It
get
is.
it in. It's right there. Clean up after your mess.
Yeah, no, I feel like I should leave
Mhm.
tools down there for them, but I don't use
Yeah.
them. But yeah,
I know it's not you guys, you're just trying to,
yeah, we do the best we can. I know, I've had some concerns about the cardboard recycle bin being too high to reach and that sort of thing. So, we can put Mike on the spot, but we've looked at, changing that area with, cutting out where those boxes sit to lower that stuff down
Mm.
about a foot in a redesign. So I think Mike has one of his engineers working on that, process in that
yeah.
design to try to get that changed. And then I know we've looked at redesigning that whole area to take away those two boxes and put one of our 48-foot containers down there. Because certainly we couldn't fill a
Oh,
30-ton
take
container
away the two.
and put one
Put
in.
one.
And then certainly they couldn't fill
Yeah.
30-ton worth of garbage in a weekend. But I've seen a lot down there before.
Yeah.
Right.
Knock
So,
on wood.
yeah. So yes, we have some thoughts in mind on how to try to get that cleaner or maybe redesign it, but
Yeah.
that's processes, of course, we have to work through with people above us as well. So yeah.
Okay. Is tonnage, where are we at in comparison to where we were last year?
So we're down about I think it's 8%.
Okay,
The specifically CDL is down, construction debris and special waste. Soils are down a little bit too as well, but the MSW is up.
okay.
So we've started receiving more tons from Forest Grove, so we get
MSW is municipal
Yes.
solid waste.
yes,
Okay.
yes, and so we've started receiving more tonnage from Forest Grove. So we've been getting about 12 trucks a day from them. So that's picked up with some of the MSW. So
Okay.
and then there's some other dirt projects coming on towards the end of the year, and then there's some stuff that's coming in from Alaska. Another job coming in from Alaska and some other stuff. So some of that should hopefully pick up before the year's up.
Does that come by train?
They barge it down from Alaska. So they'll load all the containers on a barge in Seattle and send them up and then send them back that way. And then it'll come down by train.
Okay.
So, and then there's some stuff coming from Guam as well and out in that neighborhood. So yeah, containers back and forth on the ship. And so, Yeah.
Okay. All right, and we're working on the post fee agreement and the conditional use permit. Planning's involved, so that should be this fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, to come before the county court.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
all right. Yep. Thank you.
Right.
And where are we at on the road relocation?
Oh, I have an update I can give. You want it now, okay, or,
Yeah, I was
Okay.
just wondering.
yeah,
It's not on the agenda, so.
did, um, send the report that you received, that I received. Well, Jolie forwarded it to me from Anderson Perry, but, at this time, the preliminary road right-of-way surveying has been completed and no issues. It sounds like the only issues, like they thought were the issue with the large dry lake bed on the east end of the project. Anderson Perry's working on a mitigation plans to work through this problem. They have to have this plan and move forward with the project by early spring. It might set it back. There was a couple, and I can forward the, or get the report from the preliminary one sent to you both. But there's a couple permits that they foresee that they're gonna have to do and stuff, but
But it wouldn't prevent.
no, it still sounds, everything's, there's, they kind of, they're pretty sure that a couple of these issues are gonna come up.
Oh.
And so I don't think any big surprises. But my plan, of course, Dewey's so busy right now, but the end of or sometime in August, I was hoping to get with him and meet with Alan and Paul and give them a more, when they have some more updated on what they're gonna do to mitigate those problems, so.
So it's moving forward.
Yes, yes, and I'll make sure you guys get that forwarded on to you,
Okay.
the preliminary, and like I say, I haven't got anything back from them on how they're gonna do it.
Mhm.
I'm,
Around that dry lake.
yeah, I'm,
Well, it sounded like they kind of went through that to begin with when the road went through there.
right, and Leah Shannon,
No road.
requested an update, and I met Dewey, give her where they're at too, because I know she's working on a project there too, but yeah, it's moving forward, just, what was that?
She's working on the pipeline.
Yeah, so Dewey forwarded some information on to her and we're going, it's just,
So,
so,
okay.
yes. But I will get those reports from Anderson Perry, the preliminary.
Okay.
And like I say, I can't remember the name of the person that they had to go catch Dewey on the paper.
Okay.
To have a meeting last, I think it might have been our last meeting.
Should we agendize it? In August, or should we,
Yeah, we can,
you can communicate with Anya about.
I'll see.
Put it on the agenda. if we
Yeah.
need To
I
have an
don't,
update or official report.
I don't know if they're gonna have their Anderson Perry
Oh.
thing done yet.
Oh, okay.
Plan is something to get with Dewey here in the next couple of weeks, but
Once we have their report. we can-
I guess that's kind of,
Maybe in September or
Yeah.
November.
I guess and that's the next thing.
Yeah.
Kind of waiting on
Okay,
and I know Dewey's been in contact with her, but also, so, yeah, we could, as soon as we hear some more from Anderson Perry, we can put it on the agenda for an update.
So Dewey's negotiating with her himself.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And nothing's in writing yet, just kind of preliminary stuff, but
Okay,
going forward, that's I think the next thing that we have to do to make sure
yeah,
we can do it for one, and then,
yeah.
yeah. And then go to that step.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there any other public comment? Come on up.
I just.
Uh-huh.
Just one thing, on the county,
State your name.
Lynn Ball from Arlington, Oregon. On the county commissioners, we talked off and on for several months that they really need to be compensated at a more just rate. And I guess my request is there any chance of getting that on the agenda in the near future?
Well, that goes before the compensation committee. The statute dictates that compensation committee makes a recommendation to the county board based on compensation of elected officials. And that happens right before budget time. I mean, you have an instance March or April. And
So
do
this
something
year-
different because we have a budget now set,
So this year, that's not possible.
not without a supplemental budget or a reason to proceed in another way. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Not really.
Mhm.
I think that in the past that commissioners have either, worked a lot or as little. So, we do get the health insurance benefits, which that's greatly appreciated. I'll just say that. So it's very good insurance. So
Well, I just felt like that you guys needed to be
Mhm.
compensated at a higher level. I mean, we're kind of back in the eighties or nineties on
Well. and-
wages for you guys, and I just felt like it would be appropriate. You
Mhm.
know, we seem to take care of everyone else in the county, except for our county commissioners that work hard for us and.
And the way that it's been done, just because have I've been elected official for 20, just the, there's no established process, but each elected official has the option to approach the compensation committee and make a request themselves.
I know,
That's how
I
it's
know,
been done, but.
but I've talked to quite a few people and they all feel
Mhm,
about the same way as I do, that
mhm,
these guys work hard. I know
yeah.
in the new era that we're kind of getting into now,
Mhm,
the workload that you have, Leah and Grant, are
Mhm.
probably 3 to 4 times what it was even 10 years ago. And so, you know, you're basically saying things cost more, work for less, and that, I don't think that's quite fair.
Right.
So that's all I want
thank you
to
very much.
say.
yeah, we did used to have the public health or
Yeah,
the transportation department.
all of it's more. Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, I have one point there is, the commissioners are on the same salary schedule as the other elected officials aside from the sheriff and the judge. They're just a 0.3 FTE. So their rate has been increased at the same time and at the same level that the other elected officials have. They are just at a lower FTE and that's why it seems significantly lower. So I think that would be a good point. A starting point would maybe see about adjusting that FTE because they are in the same base pay as the other elected officials. It's just that FTE that makes it different.
Yeah, I thank you, Brooklyn, and that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Adjusting the FTE. Yeah. We'll think about that approach. Okay, is there any other public comment online? No. Okay. So 3.1 is in your packet. You have the special projects grant final report from Condon High School. And you have special projects grant final report from Condon School District. So both of those are in your packets. Is there any comment or questions on those? Okay,
So they got their stuff all done. I was worried that they needed to book till September.
right. You did.
They did all right.
Good. Okay. 4.0 consent agenda. In your consent agenda packet, we have 4.1, consider approval of regular meeting minutes for July 2nd, 2025. Consider approval of amendment to agreement for Oregon Health Authority for that's public health, correct? Yes, okay. And consider approval of Oregon Department of Transportation agreement for funding of public transportation. Consider approval of agreement with Oregon Youth Authority for juvenile crime prevention services. And consider approval of scope change request for Gilliam County Event Center for construction management. All of those documents are in your packet.
So I didn't have time to look at these on you, sorry. But I did, on the motion for the health district, I was thinking that I made the motion to do the grant recommendation, but then we obviously figured out that the grant recommendation was less, wasn't it?
Yes, what happened was the recommendation, it was, okay, so for the operational support, the recommendation was to reduce everyone.
Yes.
We
and
didn't
so
go that way.
And then I think what I had to do was rescind the original motion and then do it on the amount, so. That's all I would say is that we can just, remove the grant, committee recommendation out of the. Okay. Because it says I move to approve the committee recommendation for the operational, which was the reduced amount that.
Wait a second here, yeah, let me get to
Right.
that too, and it was, let me see here, okay, so just the.
It's on page, it's on the 5.2 up. It's right before the new business page, right
Okay.
there.
I move to approve the grant committee recommendation, yeah, so that's
Yeah.
right.
So if we just remove, I move to approve, the operational support grant of
Right.
Okay.
just take out the grant committee recommendation,
Yes, thank you, Leah, that's
cause.
correct.
I'm sorry.
No,
Cause that's.
no, you're right, you're right. Okay.
Cause I remember that whole
Yes,
fiasco
it
where I
was.
had to rescind and redo it, so.
Okay,
I had one question, and I apologize because I might have asked this before, but on with the 4.337.357 the Department of Transportation, they have reporting progress reports. I would just, who,
okay, so Commissioner Watkins is the transportation commissioner. Todd Lake is the director. Do you know anything about that reporting?
Yes, it all has to do with, the money that they get from the Oregon Department of Transportation, and they have the different grant streams, and so then they have to do the reporting, and, in 2023, I think we did the extensive, it was kind of like an audit of the transportation department,
I was
so,
thinking that, I was assuming that Todd, but
yeah.
it was kind of like, I was just going through it and I was like,
Yeah.
who does that?
Yeah.
I was just,
They have to have, and then they have a stiff committee that actually oversees the transportation department. And
Okay.
they have meetings quarterly, I believe.
yeah, I was just assuming it was Todd, but I was just,
They asked me when I first got on the court, they said, do you want to come to the stiff meeting? I go, sure, what is that?
that was all.
I think it's the state transit.
There's so much there, and I knew Todd was probably all over it, so.
Yeah, and he, that Hobie that is with the Oregon Department of, Transportation, she's I think our regional person, she's, been pretty helpful, yeah.
Okay.
That was my question.
And I see there's another update on the. So this one is on the environmental health, right?
Mhm.
That we contract with Umatilla.
Right.
And we haven't had, so at first, every once in a while, that state would send money to us for the environmental health, and it needed to go to Umatilla County. That hasn't happened, hasn't, okay. I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Those,
Amendment of the. motion.
Yeah, with the amendment in the July 2nd, 2025.
I will second the motion to approve the consent agenda.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, 5.0 unfinished business. Consider union letter of agreement amending date for represented employee step increases, and then we're gonna take care of that, but it also 5.2 will go in hand with this resolution, which will be a resolution amending the date for employee step increases. So Brooklyn, did you want to let us know where we are with this?
Yeah, I think we've talked about it in prior meetings. This is really just that final paperwork that we were waiting for. The LOA you guys looked at last month, we just had received it the day before, or excuse me, earlier this month. And then we had just received it the day before the meeting, so we didn't approve it at the meeting. So that's really all these are, is just the LOA for the represented employees and then a resolution for elected officials, non-represented in sheriff's department, to receive their salary increases on the appropriate anniversary date that falls in line with their like corresponding salary schedule.
Okay. So do we need to approve?
We need to
these
do two
separately?
motions, yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement amending date for represented employee step increases.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And the resolution, which is resolution R 2025-11. Is there a motion or discussion first? Is there a motion?
This just basically states that.
Yeah, so this just it shows an example. What we tried to do is between Anya, Brooklyn and I, we looked this over because historically we want whoever looks back on this to understand what we were doing for one and make it clear. So that's why the example basically is attached.
With the staff.
Yes.
I move to approve resolution R 2025-11, adopting employees' pay step increases.
I will second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay. This meeting's going fast. All right, I didn't need quite a big comment. 5.3. Consider approval of intergovernmental agreement with City of Arlington for economic development incentive funding. Okay, so we met with the attorney yesterday on the phone and he looked over the IGA. The recommendation from the attorney, and he believes we can get to where we need to go. As I understand, time is of the essence for the City of Arlington. This is what he said. He thinks it's best to offer grants to the cities with conditions of award, which would essentially be conditions that were included in the IGA. This is to protect Gilliam County from any ongoing liability with the property. So he believes for Gilliam County, it's best to offer a grant. So this is what I'm thinking, and we'll just hear what everyone else is thinking. The Economic Development Fund has money in the fund to encourage economic development. We're not fully utilizing that fund. We're generating about $5 million a year, and we're not spending $5 million a year. Plus, we have the unappropriated funds from not utilizing the whole fund. So I think we've been very fair with the economic development ordinance to share those funds. So I think just going forward with that, we could create an offer of $200,000 grant out of the economic development line item in the fund for the City of Arlington, the City of Condon, and City of Arlington, 200,000, City of Condon, 200,000, and Lone Rock, City of Lone Rock, 20,000. And make the offer for those funds. It would not be a competitive grant at all. It would be, here's the grant, here's a grant agreement. The conditions of award would basically be that there's an agreement of the items that were included in your proposed IGA and also reporting requirements. We already have a very good model of a grant agreement with the competitive grant program. So we already have a grant agreement written. We just have to include those things in the grant agreement. And once the grant agreement's signed, the funds are available.
So would that just come out of that project development?
Yeah,
cost?
so that would come out of that
Three and a half
3.5
million.
million. So that would be $420,000 for this year.
Okay.
And we have plenty of money in the fund. We would make the offer for the city of Condon as well, and the city of Lone Rock. I don't know, what does everybody else think?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Well, like I say, I'm not familiar with what they've done in the past and stuff, but I know time is of essence to the city,
Yep,
and we
this
need
is the
the,
quickest way
we need
forward.
the development to get it
Mhm.
done.
I have a thought on that, you know, when we had the fire situation and we needed the electronic fencing
Uh-huh.
and we had an emergency and time was of essence
Right.
at that point.
Mm-hmm.
What you guys did, which I thought was very fair, is you awarded the grant and then they got the money
Mhm.
and their instructions were to fill out the grant and bring it back in.
Mm-hmm. But we're not going to even require you to fill out a grant application. Because this is not, we're going to just ask you, this is my proposal, all you have to do is sign a grant agreement with the conditions. Which would be what's in the IGA, the items in the IGA list out the property, what you're using for your incentive, and that the county will provide the $200,000 and that you will report on how it would be used.
So that can be done today.
Well, it could be done probably Monday.
Or next council meeting.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we could get this done before their next meeting.
Oh, yes, definitely. Well, the issue is, your IGA says when the funds would be available. And it looks to me like the IGA says that funding will be provided 30 days of the start of construction of the property. The start of construction will be the date building permit is issued. So once we sign the grant agreement, I think we could make a motion today for obligating the funds.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Now you know that you have them.
Yeah.
Then we could go, the actual signing on the dotted line would be the grant agreement. And then what I would propose, I don't know if the city of Condon is online, is they would present their concept just as the city of Arlington did. It may be completely different than what the city of Arlington, as long as it falls in line with economic development. I think that's fine.
That's fine with us. I'm online.
Okay. And I know you had more of a housing focus and that falls in line with the ordinance, so.
We also have 7 acres of industrial, so I'll
Okay.
let the council know, but thank you.
Thank you. And then we'll be in contact with the city of Lone Rock, and I'll do a letter which lays out so that when others come along after we're gone, they understand what we did and why. And then we'll make our motion and then, be clear about what we've done in the past or what we've done with this money, so that if this works, I think we can model it for the future in different ways, and maybe this idea will grow.
So,
Okay.
getting this agreement
Mhm.
to you can, I don't know if you got the property listed or anything, but
Yes,
if we come, I guess a better word, commitment to getting it to the city,
Right.
you can go forward with what we're trying to do, right?
it was to be a marketing tool,
Mhm.
and so we missed out on a month of that.
Okay.
But we're still listing, and if you make the motion,
Yes.
it commits the money.
Right.
And I can let our broker know that.
Yeah. So, do we want to talk more about this? We could talk about some suggested motions just so that we make sure we capture what we need to capture.
And we will have from the ordinance, there was 8% to housing.
Yeah, so workforce housing within there too, and I thought about that as, okay, so here's the ordinance, if you want to take a look at it. So,
I have
yeah,
Is it
8%,
8%?
I think,
Yeah.
is it workforce
Yeah.
housing? Yes.
So
Yeah.
5 million. That can also help, is my point.
Right, exactly. We could take it from that line item. If anything, you know, from the city of Condon, if that's what they choose, so. So we could, craft the motion, for example, to obligate the following funds from the economic enhancement ordinance for, city projects in the following amount. 200,000, city of Arlington, 200,000, city of Condon, and 20,000, city of Lone Rock.
How about I'll just second that?
Oh, okay.
I lost, yeah, I was trying to write as fast as I could.
Did you
Ask her to read it back? Can you read it back to make sure?
Okay. I move to obligate the following funds from the economic enhancement ordinance for city projects in the following amounts: 200,000 for the city of Arlington, 200,000 for Condon, and 20,000 for city of Lone Rock.
Okay. You think that will work for you? Okay,
And who seconded it?
I did.
okay. Is there any discussion before we move forward? Okay. Is there excuse me, all in favor?
I,
Aye. Motion carries. Okay,
Okay.
so next we will send you a
good
written
luck.
agreement. Mhm.
Figure something out good.
Yeah. So we're,
And please give it to us before
when is your council meeting?
the first Wednesday.
Okay, so we'll get it to you the week before that, definitely.
Can you make
Probably
sure
before
it's
that.
not too tall, whatever it is, so that, cause I kinda like seeing around that corner now.
Oh, the growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think all of this goes hand in hand with talking about waste management, talking about the new host fee agreement. We need to think of ways that we can incentivize those funds that we're really lucky to have to grow projects. So, thank you for what you've done. Thank you. Yes. Right, the last item on the agenda, for the regular meeting is consider approval of road access agreement for Amazon. That actually, the city of Arlington has that agreement now. So now it's being reviewed by the city of Arlington.
Amazon has a.
Oh, excuse me. Didn't we also give it?
We gave it to Ruben, our
Okay.
attorney,
Yeah.
and he had the contact,
Mhm.
and he was going to work with Amazon.
Okay, yeah, since it said city of Arlington and Amazon, so they're working together on it.
Okay, our
Um,
draft that we got back from
right.
our attorney went to Amazon.
Right,
And
Mhm.
so I think they're talking, hopefully they're all talking now.
yeah, so that draft, the draft after we looked at it, went to the city of Arlington. Now, the city of Arlington and Amazon are working together, correct? Okay, so we're not gonna do anything until we hear back from you. So, it's gone through our review. New business, is there anything under new business?
So this is kinda under old business, but did we finally close the childcare survey? Is it being closed?
It hasn't been closed yet.
Okay.
No,
They're not
no,
responses though for probably a month.
yeah, we need to we'll see where we're at now and pull those. It's just we hadn't done it yet. So the city, excuse me, the Arlington childcare had some input that they wanted to give, so they had some,
Okay.
they weren't quite as quick as the Condon side was at responses, so wanted to make sure we got some Arlington input as well.
Can we get like maybe next meeting that we're in
Mhm.
Arlington? Have them come and give us another update on
Arlington's
yeah, how they're doing,
Mhm.
so.
Can you work on that one, Anya? Thank
Cause it
you.
sounds like they're moving forward.
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
So the second such, right?
Right.
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. It sounded, like it's going okay for that, so.
But they're almost up to a wait list, that's good.
Right, that's good. Did you have,
Yeah, I was gonna say that, Mr. Moore, he reached out to me, they had a meeting and I missed it, the night of their meeting. Got it, and I was out of town, but, I'm gonna reach out to him and, try to either. I don't know if I'm gonna make it this month, but definitely next month at least. Meet with them and go to their meeting, and same thing, I'll get with Carrie and. Try to,
For Condon
for Condon and,
and Arlington.
yeah,
Okay.
so that's on my list of. Things to do and, to try to, like I say, to try to do a quarterly. Just
Okay,
stay in touch and,
both is,
yeah, that was part of my
okay, great.
report, but.
Just an update on some projects first, and then we can go into our own areas that we want to talk about. The fiber project, you know, the scope has narrowed, and so, we're still moving forward on the north end feed project. And we're just gonna see where it lands, with the application. I do believe Morrow County, and I do need to be sure about this, I think I heard from, Nick Green, who's helping us, that Morrow County is not going to be, moving forward with their BEAD funding. Because it isn't going to make sense for them to do it because of the scope narrowing down. Isn't gonna help enough households perhaps. I need to verify that, but I do think he told me that. But
So did
he
it,
thinks in his opinion is that it would make sense for us to continue to move forward.
did it affect their South County or North County, or do you know?
I don't know. I don't know any of those details, but I think it did change things for a lot of people who were applying about whether or not it made sense to even do it. So, and then we're going to have Rally Networks come present to us their project on the south end fiber. So that we know where they're at with that. And is that going to be in August?
August sixth,
August sixth.
tentatively.
And his name is
Jonathan.
Jonathan Cannon. Yes, so he'll give us a report. So that we know how far they're going, maybe we can get some of those answers and figure out if we want to set a plan up for, you know, extending fiber and where it makes sense, so. So that's the fiber project, the bus barn project, they're painting, oh. Yes,
There's one other thing I'd like to talk about. A lot of these projects, I noticed that the due diligence requirement is either very light or almost non-existent. For instance, if you're gonna build a housing project on the golf course, then there should be a demography, there should be demographics, there should be an identification of what the market is, what the potential for sales are, what the potential for cost, and then, of course, what the profit potential is. So the incentive can work in there, but unless that project is vetted to the degree that it should be vetted, then it's a hope and a prayer as opposed to a viable business venture. You know, like the last meeting we had when we were up in Condon talking about strategic planning, I asked Jed here, what are you gonna sell the lots for? He doesn't know. That's because he didn't do a demography, he didn't do the demographics. He hasn't identified what type of house, how many bedrooms, who's the clientele, what the cost is, and what the final outcome is. So when you give money out, say for instance, on this strategic investment fund, we know that you're exactly what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a tax-based entity that's gonna at some point start paying the county back to a large degree. With the housing, with the new homesteader rebate, you're not gonna get any rebate, you're not gonna get any tax base from that stuff. The taxes will just be a freebie that the county supports a project that ends up with that type of a freebie. So I would like to see some criteria established. So when you bring an economic development project to the court, they have certain criteria that has to be made. And that criteria should spell out in some manner that it is an actually, in fact, a viable project. And right now, you just gave Condon $200,000 with no strings attached.
We haven't gotten a proposal from them.
But you see what I mean? I mean,
It's just-
I wanna know what is gonna happen when they have a project to build houses on that. What's the vetting process? How are you gonna get demographics to support it? You know, how are we gonna know that that's a viable, project? Other than it's just somebody's good idea, they think.
Okay.
Is it
All right.
possible that we could develop some sort of set of,
Well, how does that tie into your project?
well,
I mean,
ours is a one-time thing, and we have a tax base that over a long period of time will primarily put most of it back. So if we don't sell it, we don't get the money. If we don't do the project, we're not gonna get it. So when the project happens, it's pretty clear, you know, how that thing works. It's not like build a house and see if somebody buys it or that kind
we'll
of a
have to
thing.
see what the city proposes.
Huh?
We'll have to see what the city proposes. We don't even know. She said something about industrial land. I don't even know what the city is gonna propose. We've obligated and earmarked money for the city of Condon as we did for the city of Arlington. We'll see how the details unfold.
Okay, so I just wanna know that, feel comfortable if there's gonna be some sort of vetting process on these things.
Well, I think a lot of this is just like I say, it's a work in progress that we're
Mhm.
trying to do.
Right.
And,
Mhm.
you know, I know I'm not a developer, I'm not an engineer, but I mean, you know, yeah, I don't know where you
Mhm. Yeah.
do the best you can.
Okay,
so-
thank you.
Yeah, so that was fiber, the event, the bus barn project, they're painting, so it's coming right along, and that's a grant funded project. Do you remember
I
what the
think
match was, Commissioner?
25%.
Okay, 25% match, so that was it's coming right along, it looks good.
The doors are in, the
Right.
roll-up doors.
The Fairgrounds Event Center project was $1 million, was it a legislative earmark? Yeah, and then there was another $277,000 Business Oregon grant that came with that. And that's going to be a nice venue at the fairgrounds. That's not going to be a building for another use. It will be for venue. I think there are a lot of buildings in, the county that are churches or Masonic halls and then they're just become a makeshift event center. This is gonna be an event center at the fairgrounds, and this is in the works from long ago. And that's been bid, it's coming right along.
Yeah, I think it looked to me today, I think they were digging the fiber across the road.
Good. Okay, good. And that's gonna help the fairgrounds' entire, internet system.
Yeah, and
Get that
also,
solved.
just to point out, Chris Fitzsimmons, the emergency manager, she, wrote a grant for a large, generator and then air conditioning for the two, exhibit halls, so.
Oh, speaking of the fairgrounds, you're receiving more money from the legislature for the biennium.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be like 160,000 for the biennium, so 80,000 up from 50-some thousand, so
yeah,
20.
which was still not as much as they were supposed to be giving in the beginning. so.
Right, so that's good for the fairs. EV charging. We've been, okay, this is a situation with the EV charging grant. This is going to be a ODOT, managed project. There will be two phases, an engineering phase and a construction phase. The original scope included EV charging, development of a green space, development of the sidewalk, how the traffic will flow. 1 level 3 with 2 plugs and 2 level 2s, I believe, was the original. the pros of this is we got the grant and it's almost $1 million. The cons of this are that ODOT is in charge of the grant money and they have 10 years to complete the project. And that worries me about how long it'll take. We've talked to them to see if they would allow us to manage the project, and it doesn't happen unless you're Portland, Salem, or a metro area. They will not allow it. So I've been talking to them about, is there a way that we can just do the EV chargers and we'll figure the rest of it out? We're not getting money for all of the project anyway. So is there a way that we can just get the chargers in so that we can get that part done? So that maybe potentially it would speed the process. I didn't bring the.
So I was
with
kind
me.
of concerned anyway, to begin with, that there's not a lot of space back there.
No,
And by the time you fit 3 parking spots.
right,
And a
uh-huh,
park. and-
right, exactly. So I did
Which
talk
is
to.
more important, I guess.
It's important where the power is, especially for the level 3s. The fast chargers are level 3s. So we're working on it to see if we can, how can we get this done as quickly as we can and be able to get that money quicker so that we don't have a long wait. They're not concerned about the money for us with ODOT, but they are concerned with staffing. We may be changing people along the way because of positions being eliminated.
And then you gotta start over.
Right.
Do it less than 10 years. that's
Right.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what's going on with that. So we talked about the courthouse parking lot. We talked about the old, or the bus barn, the current bus barn. Maybe there's a different location that's more viable. And they've said that we're,
I know, I can't,
They're checking.
I remember there was a reason why we couldn't do it at the courthouse.
okay, probably power.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Um,
And I wondered if maybe all of that was already looked at, that the old bus
and
barn.
the trouble is that in 10 years, are the chargers gonna be different, or is everything,
Right.
I mean,
I know,
10 years is a
Uh-huh.
long time, and
it is. Yeah, it's a tough one, but we're still moving forward and.
so remind me, what's the difference in cost between the fast ones are way more than
Yeah,
the.
okay, and also the level 2s, there will be 2 level 2s at the bus barn through that project. It's part of the match.
Yeah.
It was in the scope, it's happening anyway. So the level 2s, there's gonna be 2 up there for that. But the price difference, do you remember?
It was
Uh,
like 250,000 versus 150,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
It was almost double.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it was even more than that.
Yeah.
I think that the level 2s were like 10 grand.
Oh, they were.
And then
Okay.
the level 3s were like the 150 to 200,000. Cause he was saying it
Okay.
would be easy for us to pay for the 2 level 2s. If we wanted,
Yes.
cause they're very minimal. Whereas
Mhm.
when you jump to the level 3 with the fast chargers with 2 ports on them, not the single port, but the 2 ports, that's when they jump up to that like 150 to 250 range. A huge difference.
So do you recall Brooklyn too, if there's not a power issue there? Getting the
They said,
power?
they said at the library that it will hold that, right? And then they weren't
Yeah.
sure about if we moved it to the county where the nearest power would be, but he would look at that since they were talking
Right.
about this transition.
Cause I wanna say, I'm pretty sure that we looked at whether or not it could be there at the county, and then there was a whole bunch of issues to it.
Okay.
so.
Okay, that, I wondered
So
if that
then we
was
were
already-
like, then it was like, okay, well, maybe we could put some up potentially at the bus barn,
right,
till this other project could get
Uh-huh.
going.
So-
That's what I recall.
and also with the EV charging grant, the ODOT grant, I asked if we could just do the level 3s. Can we just do a level 3 with 2 plugs? Since we're already doing the 2 level 2s at that, and they said that you have to have 4. This grant requires, this carbon reduction, it requires 4 services. So that's why the grant was 2 with 2 plugs on the level 3s. So we'll see where we end up with this.
And I know that, so the sidewalk is
Yeah,
horrible.
It's terrible.
There, and we kept waiting,
yes.
thinking that we were gonna get this,
Mhm.
we could do everything all at once, but.
And so that's why I started to think about maybe a change of location, so we can take care of that sidewalk now, because it's part of the scope.
Yeah.
And we can't do anything with the sidewalk until the grant's done.
Denise, is the one down here is that they have, is that city? Are you?
Oh, but- And he has sold out. A new company is coming in and gonna put in, I think, 4 new charging stations. But we don't want them to be where that one is. So that front row along the main road.
Yeah.
Where people don't usually park, it's got the trees, so the car charging people will be in the shade. They're going to be leasing enough for 4 new charging stations. They received an ODOT grant, but they're a private business.
Yeah.
The city receives money, we don't have
Yeah.
one divine invest.
Do you
So
know if
wonder
it's
they're on the 10-year
yeah,
plan too.
I wonder if it's a different from private, but do you know if they're level 2s or 3s? Don't know.
Vicky has
Okay.
everything,
I'll stop and
because
ask.
we signed a contract
Okay.
with them.
Okay. All right, and these are all projects that were existing.
You might want to turn it over to a private entity.
Yes. Mhm. Because we're also gonna be in charge of the chargers, and we're gonna be the ones running the money that goes through them, and the accounting end of it, and if there's maintenance, we're responsible.
County's responsible.
Mhm. Yes.
She can give you their contact.
Mhm.
All you
Yeah.
need to give them is a place to put it,
Mhm.
which is what the city did.
Yeah. Right, okay, thanks. Trying to think, is there anything else? Event center, fiber, EV charging, bus barn. I went to the Oregon Business Commission meeting and the Leading Juniper 2B SIP agreement was approved by the Oregon Business Commission. That was a very interesting process, and they had to make sure that we had gone through all of our steps and done it appropriately, and that the business qualified, so that was good. They asked about Gilliam County's economy, and the Oregon Business Commission didn't realize that that we take trash from Seattle and Portland, which
Isn't that?
explained that was a big, a big part of our economy.
Maybe drive across the Cascades to this side of the state.
Right. And so that's done, and it just, it's gotta make sense for the business to do the repower. At this point, it sounds like it does, even with things that are going on with the federal government. Projects that are happening soon seem to be viable. It's those in the future that I think there may be some question about out in the future. Let's see, we had our strategic roundtable meeting, which was good and productive. I think out of that came the idea of maybe a leadership team that we can form that will have people from both ends of the county, that we can talk about issues that we can be brainstorm to help guide us.
Should we read the Kaylin's idea that she sent?
I think it's on the agenda for the next meeting, right?
Yeah, so, right,
Oh.
you sent or she sent it to all of us, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, we put it, county leadership team as an agenda item for the next meeting and included her letter. I asked her if it was okay if we included her email, and she said yes, so we'll use it as an example. She asked to be part of that, and then we'll talk about how to go forward with that.
So it'll be the August.
Yeah.
First August meeting.
Yeah. What else do we have on the agenda for that meeting? We had several other things.
There's a bunch of updates.
Okay.
And,
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right, that's okay. Okay, we've got, so far, senior services update, chamber of commerce update, the Raleigh Networks report, county leadership team, and then discussion, about the economic enhancement.
Okay. Mhm. Okay,
That's it?
good. And then we could add childcare survey results, maybe?
Okay.
Okay. Senator Wyden will be here July 26th. He'll be in Condon at 2 o'clock in the Memorial Hall.
Is that Condon only or here too?
I just,
I don't-
Condon on
I
that.
just saw.
I think it's just Condon. Mhm.
Hey,
And,
Chris, it's at 1 o'clock
It's
at the
not
Memorial
two?
Hall.
Okay,
Yes, it's at 1.
sorry about that.
It's
Sorry.
like 1 to 2 or something.
Okay.
Yes.
It's at 1 then. Sorry about that. We've been talking with the attorney about county transient lodging tax. We're just exploring that concept, just in the beginning stages. Met with the planning department, we talked about waste management, we talked about getting through all the planning documents that are in the room and how to get them digitized. I think that's going well. We do have 2 openings on the planning commission. There's an ad in the newspaper, and anyone who's interested, we need 2 members. I think that's about it. What do you have?
Had a career meeting July 11th. Congressman Benz was on there for a few minutes and yeah, power rates, everything. EPA, just a lot of issues. And no answers.
Did they talk about the federal bill at all and how that's gonna affect the future of wind energy? No,
No,
okay.
no, I just know that the local, there was their tests. Oh gosh, their last name, do you remember last test?
Leo.
I think that's it, yeah.
Mhm.
It was just crazy, like the Oregon legislation, they had 3,400 bills. 28 of them failed, and 2,800 failed, but power, people are concerned about the future. Pendleton Air Force trying to do a development, they can't get the power in. Lake County, there's a mill looks like it's gonna shut down because they can't get the power. And the other big thing is the emergency shutdowns in television. But like I say, didn't get, I had a couple of questions I was hoping to get to him, but.
Yeah.
The other thing, I think that's about it, yeah, Northport tomorrow, and I will, with the child cares, deal with that,
Okay.
sorry.
Does the North Health have a fully functioning board now?
We have a full board.
Okay. Go ahead, Commissioner Watkins.
I didn't prepare anything and
Okay,
I'm hauling wheat now, so.
Yeah. all right.
Except for today.
Did that tour that Paul now coming up, were you gonna try to go on that, or are you gonna visit?
I just took the tour and
Okay, so
that we had in June. So,
Either you or
have you
I.
been out there?
I haven't,
If you
I
want,
mean, since a long time ago.
yeah, if you wanna go, that's fine, but if you don't, let me know.
okay, because we just went the middle of June, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And drove all around up there.
Okay.
But he said, I think when they get those, gas plants going, then, so we could go inside, otherwise we just drove by and looked.
I'll just plan on when I get together with Dewey and meet with Paul and Alan out there.
Mhm.
I'll just
Okay.
do that, so if you wanna go.
All right.
yeah,
Thank you.
I'll just stay out of that one, so.
Okay,
All right.
anything else for the good of the order? Okay, if there's no further business, this meeting is adjourned.